There are people who aren't afraid of not being loved. They're afraid of being loved and one day losing everything they've built. If that sentence resonated somewhere in your heart, if it felt less like information and more like someone truly seeing you, this video was made for you. There's a kind of pain that nobody ever talks about. It's not loneliness, it's not separation. It's the pain of being in a relationship, of being loved, of being chosen, and yet feeling that something is wrong. As if you were waiting for the bomb to fall. As if love were a room you're simply not allowed to enter. As if the closer someone gets, the stronger the urge to disappear becomes. You've felt that before, haven't you? You've called yourself distant, difficult, broken. But what if it wasn't a flaw? What if it was a learned strategy? A lesson your nervous system learned long before you had the words for it. Subscribe. Come with me. Childhood neglect doesn't just affect how you feel about yourself. It shapes how safe love feels to you. She follows you to every room where you've ever tried to love someone. She sits at the table. She whispers when someone says, "I love you." It trembles when someone tries to take its hand. And that's what nobody tells you. Trauma isn't just a wound carried alone. The most devastating thing neglect does is teach you what love is. And when you've learned silence and absence, adult love will seem like a foreign language. You'll want it, and you'll run from it. At this contradiction day, "I want you close, but please don't come any closer, moom," is exactly what we're going to unravel. The first wound is the most invisible. You are capable. You solve things. You never ask for help. Everyone admires that about you. What nobody sees is what happens at 2 in the morning. You're exhausted, something has crumbled, you needed someone. Asking, she became quieter, smaller, more alone, because she learned that needing is like hurting yourself. When its needs were met with absence, its nervous system made a calculation and built a wall. Not to keep people out, to keep you safe. That has a name: compulsive self-sufficiency. You know it. And now someone loves you genuinely and consistently, and the closeness feels like a threat. You say, "I'm fine," when you're not. She prefers to suffer alone rather than risk silence after asking. That's not independence. It's a child who doesn't ask. The second wound feels like love. You remember birthdays, you solve problems before they're even asked. You take care of everyone. And beneath all this doing, there's a terrified question. If I stop being useful, will they still want me? In a home with conditional love, you learned something critical. I am not loved for existing. I am loved for what I produce. Psychology calls this acquired attachment. And this connects to something very devastating in your adult relationships. You don't know how to receive love that isn't reciprocal. When someone loves you just because you exist, it seems suspicious. So you exhaust yourself for someone who never asked for a performance. They only wanted you. But you didn't know that was enough. The third wound lives in the body. Even in a good and stable relationship, there's a part of you always ready for the worst. Always sweeping everything away. Message that takes a while. Different tone. A quiet night that seems, without any explanation, distant. Suddenly, he's walking away. Something's wrong. He's leaving. His partner looks at you confused because nothing really happened. But something happened 20 years ago. His nervous system learned to hypervigilate, to monitor every change around him. Because in your childhood, these changes mattered a lot. You learned to read people like sailors read the weather. Not for love, for pure survival. If this is coming to you, like and comment. You're not alone in this, I swear. The fourth wound. Conflict doesn't seem like disagreement. It seems like rejection. Louder voice, silence, we need to talk. And something in you not only tenses. Not because the catastrophic. It reads like, I'm losing you. Then you shrink. You apologize for things you didn't do. You abandon your own perspective. You never learned that two people can fight and still love each other. That the rupture can be followed by real repair. The fifth wound is the quietest and the cruelest. It appears when someone is kind to you completely for no reason. Partner brings something unasked. Friend says, "I was thinking about you," and instead of warmth, you feel distrust. As if you were caught needing something, you dodge, minimize, give something back to balance the scale. Careful, in your experience, it always came with conditions, or it never came at all. You don't resist because you don't want love. You resist because you want it so much that it terrifies you, and that's the hardest wound to name. It seems irrational on the outside. Here is the deepest truth. None of this means you are broken. Nothing means you are incapable of love. These weren't flaws, they were strategies that kept you functioning in a home that didn't give you what you needed. The problem is they followed you outside, to relationships where the danger is over, but your body doesn't know that yet. You didn't fight intimacy because there was something wrong with you. You learned that closeness hurts, and you protected yourself. Healing doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in relationships, in small moments of repair that accumulate. Someone offers help, you say "thank you" instead of "I'll manage." You ask for what you need, out loud, even trembling. Stay in the conflict instead of disappearing. Let someone be consistent. The right people won't overthink your needs. You were never hard to love. Never, ever. They never showed you what safe love looks like, and that's something you can learn. You still can. That's what we're here for. Which of these wounds have you carried in silence? Write in the comments. Your words might be what someone needed. If this video opened something up in you, like, share, and watch what's appearing on your screen right now.